Okay, so I want you to go to the website, and I already put this math on the website, so it's there so you can follow it, so you don't have to you don't have to worry about what I cannot show you on the screen. Okay, unfortunately today. Anyway, so but it's there. Okay, so I upload this there, and so you can follow what I have to say today with that. Okay, so in here today, what I did was I went to the 19th semi-prime, which is 55, and and a lot of it is just introduction to what I'm going to say today, which is new information. But again, it leads us back to the same destination, okay, which is 9127. So the 19th semi-prime is 55, and there are only two ways to concatenate these two numbers, either 1955 or 5519. If we do a 1955, then its index becomes 1657, meaning that 1657 composite is 1955. And we figure out that 1657 in base 19 is actually 9127 in base 10. Again, it generates 9127, okay? And as you notice here, this 1657 is also a prime number. And then digits actually adds up to 19. Okay, so God is telling us that, look, all of this in base 19, and so we have to pay attention. 1955, the 1955 fifth Quint-prime is 19521. Recall that 19 and 521 are the prime factors of 9899, or 9819 is equal to 19 times 521. And note that 9899 is the frequency of Alif Lam Mim in chapter 2, which is the first initial surah in the Quran. Okay, so you see how it generates things? It just keeps going and generates them for you. 1955 happens to be 5 times 17 times 23, which is the indices, with indices of 3, 7, and 9. 379th lonely Gaussian prime is 9127, again generating 9127. Now if you look at 5519, 5519's composite is 6346. Note that from the above mathematical fact, 5519, by the virtue of being the index of the composite 6346, generates the total number of verses in the Quran, and this is including the 112 unnumbered Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay. 5519's additive prime is 144167. 144167 happens to be an Emirp. That means if you write it backwards, it's also another prime. That's what an Emirp means. Okay, Emirp is basically a prime spelled backwards. It is the 2810th Emirp, and 2810 is the total frequency of the word God, including the ones in the 112 unnumbered opening statements in the entire Quran. Okay, so you see, we generated the total number of verses in the Quran, which is 6346, including 112 uninitial surahs, uninitial ayahs. I'm sorry, unnumbered ayahs. Okay, the Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, so here we are also generating the number of word God in that span of numbers, which is the total number of word God in the entire Quran, including the word Allah, which is mentioned in those Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, 112 of them. Okay. 729th prime is 5519. Now it comes new information, and I'll underline that. 729th happy prime is 42589. 42589 happens to be the 1657 harmonic prime. Remember, we use 1657 right there. You see that? SubhanAllah, that is amazing. Okay. And I just said that 1657 composite is 1955. Okay. And 1657 in base 19 is 9127. So I repeat it so you can see it again. 1657's odd composite is 4543. 4553 happens to be the 764th spinning number. Spinning number means it has 3 factors and they're all distinct. They're not repeating. Okay? 764 is 2 times 2 times 191. The indices of these primes are 1143, but 1143 is 9 times 127. Okay? God insists. Okay? This is what God says within the horizon. Okay, so these are the horizons that we are opening every day. As I said, these are these windows to paradise that we're looking into it. And this is how ordered that place is. This is the order. Okay? A place of order, not chaos. A place of happiness. Okay? And believe it or not, this 729th happy prime, okay, which is 42589, and it is amazing. Okay, so okay, so now we go down, but 4553, as I said, is a spinning number, and it can be factored out into 7 times 11 times 59, 3 distinct factors. The indices of these prime factors are 4, 5, 17. Again, these are new information. (4517) happens to be the 317th additive prime. You see that? And 317th prime number versus in the Quran is 9127. And so you can check that in our translation. It's there. Okay. So, alhamdulillah, with all the extraneous interference that we had, I think this went well by God's grace, and so we got the gist of this immense blessing that God has given us today. Okay, so inshallah we'll be a better servant of God this afternoon, and following that, inshallah, and we understand it and we think about these things more and more. Okay, and as I said, then we are humble, not proud of having all these systems, the information superhighway and all kinds of stuff that people call it. There are different names for this, AI and all kinds of stuff. Okay, they are nothing compared to what God has actually created for us. Absolutely nothing. Okay, which is this information system which is within us. Okay, which is absolutely mind-boggling. And then you can imagine that that also goes with every living creature around you. Okay, you have a dog and your dog gets old. The dog renews itself and everything just like us. Okay, the tarantulas, they molt. Okay, that skeleton, the exoskeleton actually gets out, and they are very vulnerable at that time, and they grow a new exoskeleton. They become a new thing. But those things has transmitted all of the information to the new cells. So the age of that thing is still intact. Okay? The new cells that come in, they're older for some reason. They shouldn't be, but they are. They're older. Okay? And so can you imagine this? It's throughout the whole universe. Okay? And all of these things going on all the time. No break, nothing. Okay? The computer is down. No, it's not. It's working all the time with no interruption, no power failure. And so, again, we're grateful to God for this, inshallah. As I said, we'll become a better servant of Him this afternoon. Okay.